talk you through the rig that I've been using over the course of this session. It's just a very minor variation on what I've been using a lot recently. The main difference being that there's no lead core on here. The Lake has a complete lead core band, so no leaders of any form. So all I've done, I've decided that I still wanted to fish my helicopter and my rotary setup. Been using stiffer boom sections with this rig recently, so I didn't really want to use it on a lead clip or an inline or anything like that where I'd be using tubing. I still wanted to fish my helicopter setup. I've got 16-pound fluorocarbon on here, so it's a really strong, tough, abrasion resistant mainline. So I just opted to fish it naked style directly onto the mainline. So I haven't got any knots whatsoever above my top bead. My main line's tied directly to a heavy ring at the bottom, and I've been using the new Thinking Anglers tungsten beads for my top and bottom stops. They move really nice and easily on the line. I'm not fishing big bags or anything like that, so I don't need to worry about that top stop moving with a big bag or anything on there. As long as I'm hitting my clip nicely, there's no chance that's going to move up and down. In the event, in the rare event of any kind of a line breakage or I get cut off or anything like that, that'll just slip straight off. The hook link is completely free, and it's as safe as I can possibly make that setup. Down from here, I'm using one of the C clips, so this lead will drop. Got a nice big heavy lead on, 4-ounce lead. That's going to drop pretty much as soon as I get the take. There's a bit of weed out there, so hopefully the fish will be straight up to the surface. That's going to make it a little bit easier for me to land. In terms of the hook link itself, at this end, I've got one of the double flexi ring swivels just to give the hook link the maximum amount of movement. It's a stiff hook link, 25-pound amnesia, so I want to make sure that's as flat as possible on the lake bed. So having the 2 rings is just going to give the hook link the maximum amount of potential to do that. I've got a little tiny drop of putty just in the middle again, just to help everything stay nailed down. And then at this end, I've got one of the size 11 quick change PTFE coated swivels. Spins really nice and smoothly and slick, just gives the hook the maximum amount of movement, so it's going to help it to spin when it's in the fish's mouth. Got a big size 4 wide gape hook on. The fish in here have got quite soft mouths, if I'm honest, so I wanted a nice big hook, nice big wide gape on it, sat under that pop-up. And finally, just tucked inside the pop-up, just got one of the tiny little hook ring swivels, just gives the hook and the whole arrangement the maximum amount of movement. I've used it for years, it's something I've got a huge amount of faith in, works beautifully.